Yeah, great day, beautiful weather. Thank the good Lord for that. Me and Glenn was just talking about how it's dry and a little bit cooler, got a little breeze. Good situational work this morning. Worked a lot of empty and all the situations of empty, motion to empty, reloading from empty. We also worked third and short for the first time and got that situation covered, and got down in the high red zone again. Emphasize that offense made a lot of explosive plays, which is good for our offense. We got to get that short up on D, and we will. Some of it was just some good stuff offensively. I think really good execution and tricky stuff on the defense's eyes, but we'll get that short up. And got a big day tomorrow. You know, going to try to go around 90 snaps, which is about 2.5 quarters, probably about 45 snaps with each group. We'll do it at a fast pace to really test our mettle and test our conditioning, and looking forward to it. You know, tomorrow I think is or I know it's our To the Top Collective membership day for those people. So if you hadn't join today. It only takes $17 a month. And then you can come to practice tomorrow. You can mingle with our players. You can meet them. You can take a picture with them. Peter Bain's going to have breakfast. If you hadn't met Peter, you need to. We got to make him famous. And it could be a great day tomorrow for you to see our players and be a part of players. If you got kids that love our players, sign up for the collective. Click that link, bring your kids tomorrow. We'll let them come out to the middle and break it down with us, all right? But we need you, and keep growing that. So with that, I'll open it up.
Will, the last 2 days were a little bit about the young guys. Maybe just talk about some guys who stood out to you.
Yeah, not so much young, but inexperienced. Inexperienced here. You know, guys that have played a lot of snaps for Southern Miss, we kind of reduced their last 2 days. Guys that are new to Southern Miss, we have increased their reps the last 2 days because it's a long camp. We got a lot of guys that know how to play football at Southern Miss. We got a lot of guys we got to train. So that's been good. You know, we're trying to get our experienced guys in on the situational work, but then just the base down football and base stuff, we're trying to get more work with some of these newer guys to Southern Miss. I think that's been good to see. We've recruited a lot of talent. They're coming on. They're becoming us. And I think our leaders are doing a good job of developing them too.
Touch on how Terron Bedford's coming in. I know when y'all brought him in, he was supposed to be a physical piece in the run game.
Yeah.
But he actually catches the ball a little bit too. So,
man, his development the last 2 days has been a pleasant sight to see. You know, I got to give a lot of credit to Steve Buckley. I called Buckley about a few days ago, and I said, Bucks, man, you know, I've signed a lot of good players for you in my life, and Terron, he just ain't spilling it right now. And he said, let me call him. You know what I mean? That's the great thing about our relationships we have with all these kids and their people. I knew Bucks knew how to make Terron tick. Bucks called Terron, and then credit to Terron. Terron stepped up the last 2 days. Had his 2 best practices, and we needed that to happen. So it's been good to see the last 2 days, and hope now he's got to keep going. He's not there yet. He's got to continue to grow and develop, but excited he's here.
What do you just hope to see tomorrow or accomplish from scrimmage?
Tell him.
Physical work.
I was messing with Demi yesterday on Eagle Hour. I always said something. I want to see who can sustain blocks, who can get off of blocks, who can tackle, and who can break tackles. That's what I'm always looking for in a scrimmage, because football is really a game of math. And that's the way you all of a sudden, it's 11 on 11 when the ball snapped, but as soon as you get off a block, now it's 11 on 10. As soon as you break a tackle, now it's 11 on 10. And so those things that swing the math is what, you know, because our schemes are our schemes. We want to see execution, obviously, but who can win a one-on-one situation? Whatever your particular one-on-one situation is what we look to see.
J.Q. Gray, when he gets into those tackles and shoots up the gap, he can really come up and down so quick.
He is. He's man, he's really, really fast, really quick and elusive. He's a tough guy. Even though he's little, he's got that chip on his shoulder. You know, he's really embraced ball security and gotten so much better. And I think he's going to be a weapon for us this year. Another piece that Coach Long can use in special situations and all those things.
Thought Greg Nunnery looked really good in that pass protection and drill.
He did. He had a one-on-one with Jaleel Clemens, which is good on good. He continues to improve. Greg's a mean, nasty guy. Just brought a lot of physicalness to the position. We got great competition with him and Chris Hayes right there, but that's 2 mean dudes. Yep.
I was going to say, with Chris, I mean, talk about that competition with those 2 guys. I know Chris has been nicked up a little bit. That's a good situation right there.
Sheesh. Yeah, we used to look around trying to find a tackle. You know what I mean? Now we got 4 kids that we really think can play high-level Sun Belt ball. You know, in Chief and Tank Welch, and then Greg and Chris Hayes. Greg and Chris Hayes bring a nastiness to them. You know that they come out here every day wanting to impose their will on people. And that's been something that's kind of permeated. You know, when you add Dante Lucas and Will Saxton, Luke Rogers is mean like that. You know, so all of a sudden our O-line has gotten a lot more nasty. You can ask Jaleel, he'll tell you that. And we were talking about it the other day. So, but Chris and Greg, man, great competition with each other. They're both physical, and they're both improving every day.
Two more for Coach.
Two Nunnery, he's not really your prototypical body for a tackle, especially with his reach. But he seems to be so fluid through the hips, and with his feet, he can compensate for some of that on the outside.
Yeah, that's why we got him, because his body, the way he looks. If he would have looked a little bit different, he would probably. He's an SEC guy that's playing at Southern Miss, like a lot of our recruits, and so you heard me talk all the time. We want one strike guys. That was Greg's strike. You know, he doesn't fit some parameters in the way his body's shaped and everything, but man, he can play. He can play.
Have you guys tried using out the helmet communications?
Yes, we have. We've used it. We used it a lot in our summer walkthroughs and summer things, and then we've used it in some of our walkthroughs right now. It'll be a piece of what we do. It won't be all that we do, but it will certainly be a part of what we do.
So tomorrow might be a little part of the.
We might not. It's a little different when you're using it, because the offense and defense will have to be on the. You know, when you're competing against each other, it's a little harder because in a game we'll be on the same headset communication system. Well, now we're going O&D versus each other. It makes it a little bit harder from a logistics standpoint to use it versus each other in scrimmages. We'll use it in our mock games when we start getting ready, like when we flip over to really competing against Kentucky. But it's not as it's not. You know, the big thing was just making sure the kids hear it and walkthroughs and all. It's no different than. I mean, they're just hearing it. You know, it ain't no different than if I look this way and talk to you. You know, you can still hear me. We just want to make sure they can't read our lips when we're talking to them. You can practice it anyway.